Oh, well, I hope you've had a good day. I worked both my jobs today. I am taking tomorrow off, though. I am indeed. I don't want to ride any clocks, especially not ride a clock and be on TikTok. 100% don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't like riding the clock. I like staying busy, and I try to move and operate with, ethics and morals and values. I really, really do. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. I am human and I have human error, but, I do the best I can. I really, really do. And I am who I am and I operate how I operate. And I know it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and I get that. And I am really sorry for that. Quite a few things came to me today. I watched Candace's podcast. I'm just so proud of her. I really, really am. She hits the pavement, and she's a beast. She is a beast. When I started following her when she was at Daily Wire, I just knew, and how her speaking, and I knew that she was going to be such a beacon. I really, really did. Just something always drew me to her. Now, I know that we're very, very different, and we carry very different, religious beliefs and stuff like that. But I still serve the same God, and I still believe in the same thing she does, and I stand on the same thing she does. I really, really do. I see it a little differently when it comes to the universal things in reference to people's, gay, all that stuff. Like, I see people for who they are, and I don't know the choices, and I don't know their upbringing. And so I just choose to operate and, allow people space to be who they are. And I know, I'm not saying that she doesn't do that, because she very much does do that, but I'm just saying I'm a little bit different in just many different ways, but I still very much respect her, and I very much, she inspires me, and I commend her for everything that she's doing, and I pray for her profusely, so much, so much. Among other things, I pray for the world, I pray for the United States, I pray for our president to find some kind of light, and then some kind of, I don't know, something in that little wheelhouse of his other than, ego, for sure. A little bit of humility would be good. I think a little bit of humility would be good for all of us. But that's neither here nor there. And a couple of things came to me today. And my second job, I had to train quite a few people today. I always be training people. I hurt myself trusting people other than myself and God. As soon as I stopped trusting other people more than I started trusting myself is when I stopped hurting. I really did. As soon as I stopped putting my trust in other people and putting that trust in me and that trust in God is when I just started to transform in reference inwardly and outwardly. Because I wasn't looking to anyone or anything for, validation, confirmation, advice, worthiness, acceptance, value, XYZ, whatever. I wasn't, because my entire life I was. But see, I had to go through all the nitty gritty of my childhood wounds, of my past, different things in my family and stuff like that. And so, and again, I put videos out how they do. I've been working on my timeline, and I'm going to put my timeline out there for everybody to see it. And we'll see if I include names in it. I don't know, in companies. We'll see. I'm going to sit on that for a little bit, but, it's going back 3, 4, 5, 10 years. 10 years, actually. Yeah, it's going back 10 years. And so I've been, hitting the pavement the way that I am. But something that came up today in Candace's podcast, I wanted to touch on, because she talked about Freemasonry, and she talked about honeypots. And I felt that to be interesting, because I know without a doubt that there's all that kind of ravelness in my testimony. And somehow, some way, I'm somehow entangled in this whole operation with everything. Somehow, some way, I know I am. I can't, I don't have the proof. I don't know, but I know. I just do. I don't know how to explain it. And it's just so deep. It's so deep, right? And Freemasons is a brotherhood of fraternity, loyalty, and mutual support. Moral upright, honesty, charity, personal integrity, local lodges and basic units, modern reality. And honeypot, a honey trap is an intelligent blackmail tactic where someone uses romantic or sexual seduction to gather information, compromise a target, or gain leverage for manipulation and coercion. I know my ex has been used as a honeypot. Bless his little heart. He has. He so has. I know he has. How it works. Operating builds trust and attraction. Encounters may be recorded and witnessed. A target is later threatened with exposure and pushed to cooperate. Lordy. I'm sure there's been a lot of people pushed to cooperate. I'd imagine so. And then diggle that money, that bait. And if you don't do this, we're going to do this. And we're going to make your life an HELL. And we're going to take this away. And we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Believe me, I know. Because it's a fraternity. This is how these people operate. And it's come up in reference to like meetings and stuff, like strategic planning, culture, and what was another one? Convoluted. These are all words that have come up in, XYZ and this and that. These are all words that I've said too. I know it. And it's like, I wanted to touch on this because I know that there's things that I say and it just ruffles people. And it's like, when I speak, I am not talking to anyone individually. I'm just speaking freely. I'm entitled to my thoughts. I'm entitled to my opinions. I'm entitled to my free thinking. If something I say ruffles you, you have to ask yourself why. Because however people conduct their business and however people conduct their lifestyle or whatever that looks like for them, I don't judge them for it. I'm a little perplexed because I'm just like, really? But at the same time, I get it. I get the operations of everything. I get the mechanics of everything. I get the mechanics in the political arena. I get the mechanics in a Fortune 500 business. I get the mechanics in a banking business. I get the mechanics in an auto business. I get the mechanics in everything. Because of just different nuggets that I pulled throughout my life and my season and everything that I've been through. And so I speak on things how I speak on them because I choose to operate differently because I know what happened to me when I chose to allow the world to dictate how I was going to operate. And what was going to make me happy and what was going to make me successful. And so when I know what happened to me and where I ended up by allowing other people to control my strings, why wouldn't I learn that lesson? You know what I mean? And why wouldn't I talk about it? Particularly being that I've been targeted and put on this like world stage and treated as an example and done the most and all these things. It's like, I'm sorry that you guys have created this covert operation behind the scenes and done the most, and I'm still alive and breathing and of sound mind, and I'm actually quite intelligent in different ways. I have emotional intelligence, I have wisdom, I have knowledge, I have God, I have, and again, so does everybody else. Everybody has this. Everybody has everything that I'm talking about. And everybody has a position to talk about it. They just don't because they're scared. They're scared of what people might think, what people might say. I understand. And I get that aspect of it too. But I just say this because when I speak on things, I'm not talking to anybody individually. I don't want anybody to feel, whatever. But if you feel whatever, I'm sorry you feel that way. I do not make you watch my content. I don't say, hey, watch it at all. I say it because I want to help people. I want to help people elevate. I want to help people grow a voice. I want to help people find a life where they're actually happy living in instead of living in misery and thinking that's normal. Because that's what they want us to think. We have to live a miserable life and that's normal because they control it when we're miserable.